Well, guess who's back? It's me, and we're back with another Flight Club package. This is our 12th Flight Club since we've begun in September 2021, almost at a full year, and thank you to everyone who's stuck with us for that full year. We've been able to send out quite the array of fine chocolates and confections, and we're here in August for another great Flight Club box. It is August, and the August heat is pretty serious, but we are fortunate enough to be in New Hampshire and have a nice heat break this week. We won't be seeing 80-degree temperatures till next week, so enjoying that 70-degree weather while we can. But being August and being hot, we wanted to keep things spicy and included some nice spice blends in this month. And with that being said, we're going to hop right into this month's tasting. So the first chocolate we'll be tasting this month is from a bean to bar maker out of Orem, Utah. So right up in this area. And the chocolate maker name is Amano. And we'll be tasting the Macaris 70% dark chocolate bar, single origin, Dominican Republic. The company is spearheaded by Art Pollard, who founded Amano Chocolate in 2006 in the Rocky Mountains up in Utah, and is on the pursuit of crafting the best chocolate that the world has to offer. Amano actually claims that their high altitude is beneficial in the final flavor profile of their finished chocolate. Amano is also the first chocolate maker in the United States to be using the rare chuao beans from Venezuela, of which are kind of up in this region here, but those are some of the most profound cocoa beans in the world, and Amano was the first US-based maker to create chocolate with said cocoa beans. Art is also practicing direct trade with all the farmers he's working with, and primarily creates his chocolate in small batches. When Art actually first visited this plantation in the Dominican Republic, he described it, almost like it's what he would expect the Garden of Eden to look like. Although instead of having, forbidden apples as your fruit, he's having flavorful and fruitful cocoa beans that are growing in this area. And it took him about 7 years after first visiting until he was able to get the beans to actually produce chocolate with, but as they all say, good things come to those who wait. And this blend is a winner. I'm glad that he waited those 7 years. You will understand why as soon as you taste it, but savor the flavor, because this is some of the cream of the crop, and especially for Amano, one of their fine origins. You'll be picking up flavor notes of molasses, brown sugar, dried apricot, as well as cream. And Amano is one of the most awarded chocolate makers in the United States. Say 70% cocoa and handcrafted, plus it has the added bonus of a nice display of parrots flying over a scenic landscape, I guess I'd call it. It looks kind of just like some plant and vegetation, but maybe that's what the Garden of Eden needs to look like. Parrots, cocoa beans, and nice scenery. Alrighty, so we've just about covered that Amano blend, so we'll be departing Orem, Utah, and flying over to a coveted favorite, Belgium. We've been there plenty of times, but Belgian chocolate is Belgian chocolate. So we're going with Nirvana's Belgian chocolate, but this time we're doing a dark, spicy Aztec chocolate. It is fair trade, organic, has cinnamon, nutmeg, clover, vanilla, and some chili powder to get a nice August heat spice in there for you. But it's all in a 72% dark chocolate. Quite the flavor inclusion. Great for those who love a little heat and zing in their sweet treats to get a good complement to that sweetness. And let's get into it. We don't need to get too deep into what nirvana means. It is a state of happiness. And once you try some nirvana chocolate, if you haven't already, I know our old subscribers have had it, but for all our new subscribers, this blend is a great introduction. One of my favorite, at least, flavor inclusions from Nirvana. They do have a few pure chocolate blends, but this flavor is just screaming, eat me. We have covered Nirvana previously in our Flight Club, so if you're interested in learning a little more about the brand itself, I will post that video in the description below. This blend, the Spicy Aztec, is a testament to how chocolate was originally consumed. Aztecs would typically create drinking chocolates from the get-go using cacao paste that they would create by hand and then mix in other flavors like cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, some chili spice. This blend also does have almonds as an inclusion in it, but that spicy hot chocolate mixture was one of the first ways that chocolate was ever consumed on this earth, or rather, I guess I should say cocoa, but that is a, processed cocoa product that they're drinking, which, loosely can be called chocolate or a drinking chocolate. So Nirvana Belgian Chocolates is providing yet another winner, and plus their pastel packaging is quite easy on the eye. That being said, we've just about covered Nirvana chocolate this month, and we'll be moving on to our next tasting. So I hate to say it, but we gotta leave Belgium every time we go. It's quite a treat, but with all good things, they come to an end. Whatever. So Belgium, and we'll be heading to Ecuador to taste a familiar face antidote chocolate. So we actually first featured antidote in our first Flight Club package. It was the Panakia bar, which had lavender and red salt, if I'm not mistaken. That was at an 84%. This is a 70% dark chocolate that loves you back with a ginger infusion. The ginger is not candied with traditional refined sugar, but rather panela, which is in essence unrefined cane sugar. I couldn't tell you the exact specifics as to why that's a better option for you. If you're interested in seeing our first Flight Month Club video, which speaks about Antidote, the company, I will link that below. Antidote chocolate is using only the finest Nacional Ariba cocoa beans, which is, the fourth genotype of cocoa. One of the most rare next to the Criollo bean, but it is native to Ecuador as well as some regions in the surrounding countries, but primarily you will be finding Nacional cacao beans in Ecuador. All of the flavor infusions Antidote is using are also coming from local areas. All of the bean to bar chocolate making process from start to finish is done entirely in Ecuador and then brought to the States for distribution. This blend also is named after a Greek goddess, Aletheia, which is the goddess of truth. And truthfully, I love this bar. I'm not super keen on ginger on its own. When it's in chocolate, it's just got that nice zing, zesty spice. And maybe it's the panela that it's candied with, but this ginger bar is, if not my favorite ginger infused chocolate that I've tasted up to this point in time. So if there's another one out there that you think might have this beat, leave a comment below because I would love to try them side by side. Might be tough to beat the Nacional cacao plus being made at the source, but hands down, absolutely phenomenal chocolate. They have quite the range of flavor infusions, all again from local South American ingredients. And if you do enjoy this bar, I would suggest checking out some of their other flavors. But we're not done with Antidote quite yet. We also included an Antidote Mini, of which there's a few flavors available, but this might be my favorite Antidote flavor infusion. The Antidote Mini is a 77% dark chocolate with rose salt and lemon zest infused. The rose salt is coming from the Andes Mountains, which is, this huge mountain range on the west side of South America, and the lemon zest really brings it together just to have that little citrus component amongst the other flavor profiles. The blend name is after another Greek goddess, Hebe, which is a goddess of youth and the cupbearer for the gods and goddesses on Mount Olympus. I'm hoping that the cups she is bringing them is full of these minis. So you just are, handing them a little collection of chocolates. That's the only thing I could expect these goddesses and gods to want on Mount Olympus, because this is Olympic quality chocolate. This blend is described to be a dance floor of 77% dark chocolate with rose salt and lemon zest shimmying on your taste buds when you consume it. If you put flat side down, you'll get that salt right off the bat that kind of develops into a sweet and zesty flavor. But if you kind of put the scored side face down, the salt and other flavors will be on the roof of your mouth, so then they will develop on the latter part of it. If you want to try both ways, these minis have two nice little breakable pieces in it. You could do one face up, flip one, do it both ways. But it is pretty interesting how, your flavor experience can vary depending on which way you put the chocolate in your mouth. Who would have thumped it? I probably would have if I really thought about it, but not until doing it, believe it or not. Okay, so now that we have covered those blends, we will be moving on to another new acquisition here at Worldwide. And throughout this video, you might have been looking around, this is the Flight Club, but you might be wondering, what's this over here? And it is Ritual Chocolate out of Park City, Utah. Back to Utah, because those Utah people love making chocolate. We have Amano, we have Taste Artisan Chocolate, we have Ritual Chocolate. Utah's a hotspot for bean to bar chocolate makers, and Ritual is one that we needed to include and incorporate in our catalog. But this month, to introduce you to the blend, we'll be tasting the Camino Verde Ecuador 85% dark chocolate bar. So, we just had the 77% from Antidote. So, again, Ecuador is down in here. And this blend would be interesting to compare, despite being no flavor infusion in the Antidote blends, same country of origin, just different processes of creating the chocolate from bean to bar. Ritual's chocolate actually started when founders Anna Sear and Robbie Stout transformed their 400 square foot apartment into a chocolate making studio. And despite some, early struggles, as you can imagine, working in a tight space, they have come to create one of the most renowned bean to bar chocolate brands in the country at this point. It's tough to find a good bean to bar chocolate source that doesn't have Ritual as part of their lineup. And, another absolute winner that we're able to incorporate for you. The thing that I need to speak on prior to getting into the chocolate itself is the packaging of Ritual. You can see that, it's, first of all, the artwork is out of this world, but it's got an interesting style to it. So to show you how it works, we actually have another one, and I'll close it quick. But you slide this little piece out, you start to get, little info. They have their batch number, all the info, the harvest year number on the packaging, of which is the year they harvested the cacao beans. Continue to open it up. It's got some nice, little info. I won't spoil it, so I'll let you read it. But what's really interesting is they have a whole guideline on their chocolate making process, from roasting to packaging. It's basically once it's farmed and the beans are in their hands, this is the process that they're going through. But then they also have what we in essence are doing with the flavor notes in the packaging style, are little kind of blank lines that you can jot down your notes on flavors you're picking up, some aromas, colors, notes, as well as we've included them before, a flavor map. Ours are from Willie's Cacao that we've been using. but it's all basically one and the same. But they have another flavor map included within the packaging. Bean to bar, you can see this. You might be thinking, what is that? It's a mountain, Utah mountain skiing. And then finally, one other really cool thing that's, just there, you wouldn't really notice unless you're really looking at it, is their barcode. It's not just a barcode, but it's a barcode in the shape of a mountain. Being a skier, I love all, mountain activities, and that, it really spoke to me, just that crafty uniqueness of incorporating a necessary, label component on your packaging, but making it more so represent your brand for what it is. Let's get into the chocolate itself. So again, being an 85%, it is, darker than some of the other ones we've included this month, but this is a phenomenally smooth 85%. You'll be picking up flavor notes of, honey, fudge, but it's just a, robust 85% dark chocolate that you will really come to love. And while we're discussing Ritual, you can see some of these other blends here. A fair amount of them are various single origins from around the world. But one very interesting bar that isn't included in this month, because we have quite a bit of spice in this month, is this one in particular that, I don't normally speak about products that aren't in Flight Club during the Flight Club, but this one really needs some attention. It is their brand new bar that just came out in July 2022. It's called the Desert Sands. It is a vegan caramelized white chocolate, which in essence is, using a milk alternative. There's no cocoa solids. This is using oat milk, so it's literally got, like a gold flavor because it's caramelized. Then it is incorporating crystallized ginger pieces, as well as chili beak oil, which is, another company that's, I believe it's an infusion of 4 types of spicy chili peppers into some oil, or extract rather, that they're infusing into the bar. This is a smooth and spicy treat, and I know, again, I'm not supposed to talk about non-Flight Club blends, but that is something that I definitely would recommend trying. I'm sure we will incorporate it in a future Flight Club package, but I needed to bring it up. That's why it's front and center. It is a new staff favorite at Worldwide Chocolate, as is the 85% Camino Verde Ecuador bar. But given that we've already included a ginger bar and a spicy Aztec bar from other makers, we wanted to just get another pure blend in for this month's package. Definitely would suggest exploring some of the other Ritual blends if you're interested. We also do have some Ritual drinking chocolates that will be available in the fall, many of which are their best-selling single origin and mixed origin blends in a drinking chocolate format. I could go on and on about Ritual, but I think I will leave it at that and include a little more information in the description below, and that covers Ritual chocolate. Alright, so now that we've covered Ritual, we're going to just hop into our in-flight treats. Couple quickies for you. The first actually is another mini bar, which is 50 grams, so some, mini, half size, whatever you want to call it. It's from Agape. We recently did, in our spring break Flight Club package, one of their rum bars, the rum infused bars. They're out of Barbados, which is right up in here. And the cacao in this blend is single origin Grenada, which is an island not too far off north of Venezuela here. This is a 70% dark chocolate, all natural. They do not use any emulsifiers, just, pure natural ingredients. And the Grenada origin is not all too common in this craft bean to bar world, but, strategically placed right in these islands, Barbados, Grenada, not that far of a trip to get those cocoa beans. Just briefly going to go over our last in-flight treat, which I believe we've included once in our early month. Everbar, man, oh man, can I not stop obsessing over Everbar. It's, 52% dark chocolate wafer bar, and I know it sounds kind of basic, but 180 calories, non-GMO, single serving is 1 bar. It is just deliciously crispy. I love all wafer bars, and I cannot say, even still, I've had a better chocolate wafer bar than this right here. They have updated their packaging style too, so you can see what I'm holding right here, and see all this red, and that was not there before. So updated packaging, gets a red stripe. Let's go, Everbar. And yeah, it's really, even if your kids are being annoying, throw one of these at them. That'll keep them quiet. You don't want to over condition them, because then they might think that they have to be annoying to get an Everbar. But adults, kids, youths, teens, everyone loves these. It is actually incredible how much praise and affection we get for Everbar chocolate wafer bar. I get it. It is that good, but not quite as fine, to be honest, as some of our craft bean to bar makers, as we've been tasting continuously. But sometimes you just gotta mix it up with a nice little sweet pick-me-up treat, and this is that treat. And this month we are doing a little Instagram, Facebook, social media post with your Flight Club product contest. If you're able to post any lifestyle pictures, you don't have to be in it, but just hold up this product and some scenery, get a good photo and submit that, or post it on social, tag us in it, and do hashtag WWC Flight Club, or rather that way. You will get one of the winners, or someone who we select will be receiving an extra little in-flight package with their next Flight Club package that ships. So it will be at least one full-size bar of a fine bean to bar maker, plus a few minis that we'll throw in as well. And that just about covers this month's package. So I hope you have enjoyed this somewhat spicy but dark focused Flight Club package. September being our kind of 1 year anniversary of putting these out there. We'll certainly have some special treats coming in. I'm really looking forward to next month's capping off a full year with this August package. And until next month, stay sweet, eat, sleep, breathe chocolate. Cheers.